In 2026 and 2027, the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be absolutely incredible, and if you haven't picked one up, what in the world are you doing? Here's a couple of reasons why you should be picking one up, because hey, trust me, it's going to be completely worth it. If you're unaware, in September, we are going to be getting a price increase. This is going to be in a couple days from now, September 1st, and it's going to go up approximately $50 US, which might not sound like a lot, but trust me, it definitely does add up over time. And plus, the Switch 2 is most likely going to be seeing another price increase, because if you are going to look at the trend of tech right now, it is not looking too pretty. First off, in August, you are going to be seeing most likely the biggest game here is going to be Elden Ring Tarnished Edition. This game definitely runs incredible on the system because it gives you everything that the console variants gave you, but adds it on a handheld experience and other things as well, which is definitely pretty cool. It adds the base game, the DLC, and also I believe exclusive bonus content that you get at the start of the game. So overall, that is definitely really cool if you're into everything here. Now, of course, I'm not going to be reading every single game that is going to be releasing. Mostly the big ones are the ones that I think that you'll probably like. So moving into September, we know that there is going to be a Nintendo Direct that is going to be announcing more games coming to the platform. Judging off of leaks and rumors, there's definitely a lot of great things, but we'll talk about that a little bit later in the video. So, in September, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave is going to be releasing. This apparently is going to be the biggest Fire Emblem game, so I guess we're going to have to see with all of that. You also have Lego Batman Legacy: The Dark Knight, which is going to be releasing as well, and you also have Minecraft Dungeons 2 with a bunch of different games. Honestly, I gotta tell you, I'm real excited for Minecraft Dungeons 2 because it's going to be an absolute banger. Q3 of 2026 brings a bunch to the table, which is definitely pretty cool. One game that we've been waiting for a long time is 007 First Light. This game is going to be coming to Switch 2, but the exact release date has yet to be announced. Moving over to October, this is where things get really good. Like, quite literally, you're going to have so many different games to choose from. Most of them are going to be third-party games, but Nintendo isn't falling short because, like I said, a Nintendo Direct is coming soon. If we were going to look at this, you have a Kingdom Hearts collection, which is going to include 1, 2, and 3. Before we had this on Nintendo Switch, but it was a cloud version. No one really liked that. You had to be online. You kind of had to stream your game. It wasn't native. But this time around, you get the full collection native, and it seems like it's going to be on the actual physical cartridge, which is going to be absolutely insane, mind you. You also have a couple other things like Rayman Legends is going to be making its way over October 1st, so this is definitely something that you might be interested in. You also have a Nintendo Switch Sports Resort, which is essentially Wii Sports Resort, but for the Nintendo Switch 2. And you have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, which just recently had a beta test, and it might not look the best, but it plays amazingly. But not only that, you have Minecraft Nintendo Switch 2 version, which seems like it plays really nicely. There's so many other things, so I'll leave the list up on screen if you want to take a look, so hopefully you enjoy some of those games. Moving on over to November. November has a couple games right now, but it's not the biggest things that you really want to be excited for. Like, Let's Sing 2027. That's a game that you might be excited for. And then moving over to December, we don't have much. I guess we have Dragon Quest, and we also have Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. So this is going to be, I believe, the physical version. You could probably already play the just Xenoblade Chronicles 3 if you already have the Nintendo Switch version. Besides that, that is definitely really interesting. Now, if we're going to take a look at everything, maybe we should move over to 2027. Now, 2027 is going to be a massive year for Nintendo. Not only do you get like 5 first-party games, but you also get a ton of other third-party games that seem to be announced for other platforms. First off, in 2027, you are going to be getting 3D Mario, Pokemon Winds and Waves, and you're also going to be getting something to do with the Legend of Zelda, it seems, and also Xenoblade Chronicles Genesis, the brand new game in the Xenoblade series, which is definitely looking really cool. Also, and Kirby, well, it seems like they might get the remaster that we so desperately want with the Robobot and the Triple Lux. That has been flying across the internet, but it also could lead into a brand new Kirby game, which definitely would be absolutely phenomenal. Now, if we were going to take a look at it, if those things aren't exciting, well, let me tell you, one of the biggest games this year is going to be releasing in what looks to be November. I'm just going to say it. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Reborn, or Remake, or whatever you want to call it, that's going to be releasing for Nintendo Switch 2 exclusively, and honestly, it's definitely going to be fantastic. And speaking on The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, did you know that maybe you're going to want to pick one of these up as well? It seems like we are going to be getting a special edition 40th anniversary Legend of Zelda console, which is going to be absolutely phenomenal, mind you, because hey, this is the first time that seems like we are going to have colored Joy-Cons. If you're not a big fan of the Switch 2 being completely black and that's pretty much all you get, you can get different colored Joy-Cons, but it is just the ring around it. Well, this would be the perfect addition for you. Maybe you are going to want to wait. I honestly think that $50 more for a Zelda Special Edition Switch is very well worth it. Mind you, the game is most likely not going to be releasing with the console, so keep that in mind. Also, if you're living in Europe, you are going to be getting a new Nintendo Switch 2 version that the rest of the world doesn't seem to be getting. It seems like you are going to be getting a hot swappable battery replacement thing that's going to allow you to, obviously, hot swap the battery in the console itself and also the Joy-Cons. Mind you, the battery is going to be 1% worse than it currently is, so if you don't really care about the battery and you want to save $50, well then you could of course pick one up right now. But overall, this is definitely fantastic. And also, there have been some leaks and rumors about this console having a better screen, because if you don't know, the Switch 2 screen isn't exactly the greatest, but you don't really notice it half the time. Overall, I think that the Switch 2 is definitely going to be a fantastic console moving forward, and there's really a lot to be excited for. There's most likely going to be hundreds of other games coming to the system very, very soon, so don't be shy. If you want to, pick one up, or maybe if you want to wait, this is the perfect opportunity because there's two brand new different devices to be picking up. And if you want to get a Pro Controller with your purchase, well, guess what? There's a Zelda Special Edition one that seems to be releasing later this year. Overall, I think that this is a perfect opportunity to pick up a Switch 2 now, because hey, if you don't know, there's definitely a lot of games for the system. I also forgot to mention that later this year we are going to be getting the Dust Bloods. Recently there was a network test for the game, and from playing the game myself, my goodness, this game is actually really good. It's kind of like Dark Souls, Elden Ring, and also Bloodborne had a baby. And man, it's absolutely amazing, so maybe that's a game that you'll be into if you're really into hard games. But also, forgot to mention as well, there's all the games that are already out. I'm sure you're probably aware if none of those games sparked your attention, but maybe this time around there's something that's going to spark your attention. Like for example, Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Kirby Air Riders, Pokemon Pokopia, and also Splatoon Raiders. That's just to name a few, but there's definitely 100 more games to choose from, so consider to check them all out. Anyways, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Consider that like button, maybe subscribing if you're new. We do a bunch of different Nintendo content on this channel. Anyways, thank you so much. See you in the next one.